Okay, let's take a look at the example app we've just created and see what's inside. What's the structure of this app and how it works. So we have 5 folders. First folder is application, is where the business logic lives. So we place all the business logic in this folder. I will show you how to do it later. Config, you've got all the configuration files. The main configuration file is config file. We can place our credentials to the database here, for the main database. If we are a developer and we are working on our local environment, we can place in the configuration to the local database in a dev config file. The most important thing during the configuration is the default action. Default action is the action that is executed when within the browser we don't type anything after the resource folder, so we don't have any. It's like a default action. And anything else, I don't think it's that important to change anything here. Maybe later on, if something happens, we will change some configuration to the in the application, but just in the beginning you don't have to worry about configuring your application. Another folder is database folder. Is the folder where all the information about the database is placed, along with some repositories. So if we have repositories, we should place it here. Another folder is frontend. Frontend is a place where we locate all the interface classes. So you can see that there are some classes already there, like a master template. Master template is a class that extends template and says, okay, use the master HTML file as my master template. You can go and see the master template. So you can see this is nothing fancy, it's just a regular HTML with a content inside a body tag. Another thing is we've got comments. Comments is a place where it's something like a controller in a model view controller application. Actually, working with Workshop for PHP means that you will be using a model view controller paradigm, but in a bit modified way. So the application will not have very big controllers. I will show you how to use the comment in a while. Form, you place all the forms here. Components, you can see that there's already one component. You can see that we've got a component welcome. This is this page. This content, and you can see that we have a header, tagline, and description, and this is it. Header, tagline, and description, and it all renders to the standard view. Standard view is HTML with the same name of the class. So welcome HTML is a view for a welcome PHP class, welcome PHP file, and welcome class. So here we go. This is our view. Okay. Resources. It's a public folder for the Apache, and here we place our images, fonts, CSS files, etc. JavaScript. No code should be here, just indexed PHP. We won't change anything here, it's just the starting of the application. Okay, let's create a simple hello world page. So first thing, we will need a component that will be a hello world. Hello world. Here we go. We must extend the component because it's component. Okay. And it needs two HTML method. The method should return the path to our view. So I like views to be placed near the components. So I do this render standard view and place it where the hello world class is. Okay, now let's create HTML file named hello world, and let's do something like that, hello world. Okay, so we have our component. It does nothing fancy, it just returns the HTML, actually this file. We'll need a comment, so when we place like comment application hello world. Okay, so it means I will just send a comment to our application to say hello world. Okay, I click here, you can see that there is no front-end common application in our project. So first thing, you have to create a comment. We'll name it application. Okay, it's a comment, so it should extend comment. Workshop front-end comment, and it needs public function saying hello world. You have to suffix it with the name action to indicate that this is an outside action. Okay, and now we will return new hello world component. This component that we've just created. Okay, during creation of the component we have to just give it a name, so we say hello and give it a context. The context is this component is inside this component. Okay, so now let's refresh the page and we can see hello world. Okay, that was easy. What can we do now? Okay, let's do something like that. Let's make it a link, and when I click it I would like to be red. Okay, so how we do that? Okay, what we'll need, we'll have to change our hello world component so it has some dynamic content. To do that, we create the function create. Create function is a constructor that says what's inside the component. Okay, inside the component we'll have hello world. That will be new link. Okay, new link, and it will have text hello world. What I did, the first parameter is URL, so right now I give it no URL. The next parameter is a child of this link, so I said okay, this will be a text and it will be hello world. Okay, let's now create an URL. Inside workshop for PHP, URL is are usually events that will happen inside the system. So let's do something like that. URL, and we can see we've got different types of URL. We have to find an event URL. That means that okay, let's go further. First parameter is a part. It means which components should rise the event. I say, okay, this component. So the component hello world. And what's the name of the event? I say click. Okay, so right now I have a click event that will be raised by this component. We don't have listeners for this event. We've got only we will only raise the event. And one last thing, we have to replace this static text with our reference to this link. Okay, let's see what happens. Right now I have a link. If I click here, nothing happens because there are no listeners for the event, but inside the application we have an event. We can listen to this event. What I can do, I can listen inside my comment. Okay, let's do it here, but this is not the best solution. So hello world equals new hello world, and say listen for event click, and then function okay, what we'll do okay, we'll say okay die exits. Okay, so now let's click. We can see okay, it didn't return any component because this is not the best place to do events, not the best place to do front-end events. Okay, oh no, this is an error. I should return. Let's do it again. Refresh. Okay, now it's working. So you can see that right now I have a link. When I click, I see an exit. But this is not what I wanted. I wanted to achieve that when I click, I would like to change the color of the link. So this is not the best place, and this is not the best place to place it in to listen for events, because, well, I would like to be able to move this class, this hello world component, wherever I want, and then with this component my event listener should also move. So one thing we could do like public function click event. Okay, and now I can get my hello world and say add attribute, new attribute, style, color red. It means add attribute to this link that its name is style and color red. So my links should be red. Okay, here we go. My link is red. I could also do something like this. Do not place it here. Could do it like I did before. Listen, add event listener, event click function okay, let's see sender. We'll see if we have a sender, event sender within this function. Let's try it. Okay, Oh, there is no event handler. Okay. Okay, maybe I didn't listen to the right event. So I say, okay, listen for the event click. Nothing. So, well, I could dig in and find out what's wrong, but well, I think this is a much easier way to achieve what I want. So here we go. My event changed the color of the link. Okay, in the next episode I will try to show you how to embed component in the component, so you make a tree of components and how the components can listen to the events of the other components, and how we can listen to the events and then move it to the application layer.